Now we'll go to the second point where I have put up like productivity and creativity. So if you just go through the characteristics of language, you can be familiar with this point as well. Productivity and creativity is nothing but the language spoken by the human beings. They are capable of producing or creating infinite number of sentences. Okay, so a human being has a capacity to produce as well as understand infinite number of sentences produced. Okay, so this is what is here told with the term productivity or creativity. Apart from producing and understanding infinite number of sentences, human beings are also capable of recursiveness. I think you will remember this term recursiveness again in the characteristics of language, that is making a infinite sentence. Okay, so you can just continue a sentence by using words like that or which without any stop. That is called as recursiveness, and these two qualities of human language could not be found in the animal communication. Animals have no capacity to create or produce, as well as they have no capacity to produce sentences like recursiveness. Clear? And now we'll go to the third point. So here the quality of interchangeability. The quality of interchangeability is nothing but human beings can be both producer as well as the receiver of sounds, meaning that the same person can act as both speaker as well as listener. So an individual is capable of not only speaking a language but also listening a language. That is called as interchangeability, and this quality of interchangeability is not applicable for animals. Okay, why? Because in certain animals certain sounds could be produced only by the male animals. The female animals of the same species will not be capable of producing the sounds produced by the male. So such type of interchangeability is somewhat rare in the animal communication. Clear? So now we'll go to the fourth point, that is displacement. Displacement is nothing but the animal means of communications are context bound. Animal means of communication or context bound is meaning that context is nothing but where they are and what they are speaking for will be totally dependent on the context where they are fixed. For example, if they are feeling hungry now, they will be making certain sound. On the other hand, they cannot communicate about something that happened yesterday or something that is going to happen tomorrow. This is called as displacement. Whereas when you are checking human beings, they are context free, meaning the human being can talk about something which happened yesterday, and they can talk about something that is going on, as well as they can talk about something that is going to happen in the future. So this quality of displacement could not be found in the animal communication. Clear? So human beings, how they communicate using language or context free, whereas the animal communication is context bound, meaning animals can talk about only the things that is happening now. They cannot talk about something happened in the past or something that is going to happen in the future, and this quality could be found in the human beings. They are context free. Now we'll go to the fifth difference between language and animal means of communication. So here I have put up like the specialization. So what do you mean by specialization is human beings are capable of communicating when they are doing other work as well. For example, when you are writing also you can talk. When you are maybe sewing or drawing or knitting, so when you are doing any other work, you are capable of talking, isn't it? So that quality is called a specialization, meaning total physical involvement is not necessary when you are communicating. But when you are just looking into animal communication, this is not possible. Animals need their body language to support their communication with the other animals. Okay, meaning a dog cannot bark while eating or doing some other work, so it needs to be conscious while barking. So that is what is meant by the term specialization. The point here is human beings can communicate when they are doing other works like drawing or eating or writing, and this is not possible in the animal communication. And sixth point is language is open-ended system. Again, this also comes under characteristics of language. So open-ended meaning that new words could be added now and then. Okay, and sentences are also open-ended. You can make how much ever sentences you want, and this is not possible in the animal communication, and that's why it is termed as closed system. Animals have only a handful of cries or sounds. Okay, but when you are comparing it to that of human language, it is totally open. You have ample of words, infinite number of words, and you could add many new words every year. And apart from words, you have infinite number of sentences. So this is what is put up here in the sixth point is language being open-ended system. Now go to the last point, seventh point. So what is the seventh point is language is dynamic and modifiable. So meaning that it is exposed to be changing now and then. It is not static. So when you are comparing to that of animal communication is totally static. We don't have different way of communication now and then. When they are communicating this way centuries before, even today dogs bark in a particular way to communicate with the other dogs. But when we are talking about the language used by human beings, it is now and then changing. Every year it changes, every century it changes. And that is a large difference between language and animal means of communication. That is, language is dynamic and modifiable. It is not static. As I already told you, in the difference between speech and writing. So, checking the various English in various ages, you can correctly note down what are the changes that happen in the English language. That is, Old English changed into Middle English, and then Middle English has changed into Modern English. This is what is put up in the last point, language being dynamic and modifiable. It is not static. So with this, we come to an end of this session. So far we have looked into the two modes of communication, that is speech and writing. And here you have almost 9 points to remember. And apart from that, we have seen one more subtopic, that is language and animal means of communication, where you have almost 7 points. So for today, you can take your notebook and write in your own words, after understanding this session, the difference between speech and writing, and also what is the difference between language and animal means of communication. Thank you.